everyone, and welcome back to Cabral's House Call. I'm answering your questions today on a Weight Loss Wednesday, specifically around the topic of how to get in the best shape of your life through nutrition and exercise. So let's get right into it today. We've got a whole variety of questions. So the first question today is from Samantha. It says, I heard eating fat won't make you fat. So it's like there's a lot of different marketing, different things like that going on right now, and all of it is fantastic if we're trying to get people to always move towards eat healthier and all of these things. But what I'm here to do is always bring it back to center, right? Is to just kind of don't let things go too far in one direction. It's kind of like when stability balls first came out in the exercise world. Everyone did every single exercise on a stability ball. It's like you put a barbell on your back and did squats on a stability ball. You used it for chest presses, you used it for legs. I mean, like, you couldn't get enough of it. But there's also this like over jumping onto that bandwagon that shouldn't really happen in the first place. Yes, great tool, but we don't have to center our whole life around it. So the eat fat, absolutely. Yes, you should absolutely eat good fats, but you can go overboard. There is overdoing eating too much fat. I mean, especially saturated fats. So people want to say that saturated fats are no big deal and that it's really processed foods and it's the type of saturated fat that it's coming from. Yes, all of that is absolutely true. But you also shouldn't eat 100 or 200 grams of saturated fat a day. That's still not a good idea. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. That's taking something like, can you get good saturated fats from grass-fed butter or from coconut oil? And can that have benefits for you? Yes, absolutely. There is a percentage of the population, keep in mind though, again, this is not for everyone, who saturated fats does affect their cardiovascular system. And if you've looked in genetics, and you can look at your own genetics, if you are the ApoE 3 or 4, 3-4 or 4-4 allele, saturated fats do affect you. They affect you very severely and can create cardiovascular disease. That research has already been proven. So anyone who's saying that saturated fats are good for everyone, well, that's simply not true, okay? But for a lot of people, they can be absolutely helpful. Now, what I want you to think about is this, though. Whether people talk about protein, whether they talk about carbohydrates, or whether they talk about fats, those are your three main macronutrient groups: proteins, fats, carbs. Okay. Your body needs all of them. Now you can say, well, it doesn't, because you can just get in good fats and you can start burning ketones. Okay, ketones are going to be another subject I talk about on another day, but we are in like ketone craze mode right now. Yes, you can use ketones for burning fuel, but mainly for longer-based, endurance-based events. It still doesn't work for short-term glycolytic fast fuel source. I'll get there. I'll get that in another episode for all the people who have gone crazy on keto-based diets, but we can go overboard as well. Your body prefers some sugars from carbs, some amino acids from proteins, and also some fats, basically fatty acids and fatty acid chains from specific fats. So you want to take all that into account. You want a well-balanced diet. If you're someone who doesn't gain weight very easily, you can eat more carbs. If you're someone that gains weight easily, not as many carbs, and you're going to split your macronutrients more towards proteins and fats as well. All right, so hopefully that answers your question. So let me get back to it. Fat will still make you fat. Yes, fat does make you fat, and you can't eat as much as you want of it because there's 9 calories per gram of fat. So if you eat 100 grams of fat per day, you ate 900 calories, and since fat's not very thermogenic, you're going to take in, 6 times that, about 840 grams of that 900. Again, it's approximate, it's based on each person, the thermogenic effect, but it's about 840 calories of absorbed fat. So you do have to look at it as, yes, 900 calories from fat in a day. That doesn't give you a lot of leeway for your protein and carbs, all right? Please do keep that in mind. So it can go overboard. All right, next question, which it looks like this question is going to tie in perfectly to our first question. By Beth, it says, are avocados good for you? So she's asking this because she said that she eats 2 a day, typically 1 at lunch and 1 at dinner. and she eats the whole avocado. So a lot of people do. I mean, a whole avocado is not difficult to eat, especially when you scoop it out and you slice it up. It's soft, you chew it very little, it just goes right down. I mean, an avocado can be a very good food for many, many people, okay? Why is that? Well, it's because let's say that an avocado has about 22, 23 grams of fat per cup. All right, that's about one avocado. About 14 or 15 grams of that is monounsaturated fats, a really healthy fat source, a really healthy fuel source. About 2 or 3 grams or so, 3 to 4 grams saturated fat, and another couple grams polyunsaturated fat. So it can be a very, very healthy fat for you. It also has a good amount of fiber. So about 23 grams or so of fat, about 13 grams of carbohydrates, a lot of fiber in there, and then about 3 grams of protein. So it's mainly a fat source, okay, as it's like a nut. I mean, that's basically like the profile of essentially of a lot of nuts. Maybe nuts have a little bit more protein, but let's get back to avocados. So avocados can be a fantastic fuel source, but if you just listen to my previous question on can fat make you fat, an avocado does have 250 calories per cup. And if you just buy a regular avocado, take that pit out of the middle and you scoop it out, that's about a cup. So if you eat 2 avocados per day, you're taking in about, what's the math on that, 44, 46 grams of fat. We'll say 50 for easy math. And that's about, what, 500 calories. Okay, so if you're taking in 500 calories a day just from avocado, that could be okay. Like maybe you're on a 1,500, 2,000 calorie diet. If you look at that, either a third or 25% of your daily calories came from avocado. That might be okay with you, that may not. In my opinion, that is going overboard. Meaning avocado, although a great food, is not a whole food group by itself. Meaning, like, why couldn't you get your fat in another meal from olives, or maybe some olive oil, or some grass-fed butter who like to take that route, or ghee, or one of those things. So my recommendation to Beth would be this, is to have 1 avocado per day if you really love them, and maybe cut half for lunch and half for dinner, or just have all of one and then enjoy another good healthy fat source, whether it might be nuts or olives or seeds or something like that. So whatever you do, enjoy for yourself. I hope that answered your question. And for me, it does go back to keeping balance always, right? And having one food group all the time is not necessarily balance. All right, our last question of the day, third question of the day, comes from Scott. And Scott says, should I use creatine if trying to lose weight? Okay, so I know where this question came from. We did an episode on creatine, I think 2 weeks ago or so, somewhere around 2 weeks ago. Please look back on that. It was a nice creatine review, an unbiased look at my personal use and my clients' use of creatine over the last 20 years. And so really, really nice interview. It was a very, not interview, but podcast. And it was very popular. And so we got a lot of questions out of that. And people asked, if they're trying to lose weight, does it make sense to use creatine? Just like Scott asked. So if you asked the same question, I'm just using Scott's, but I'm answering all of your questions that came around this because we did have quite a few. So the truth is this, I don't recommend using supplements unless they're working towards balancing your body or getting to a specific goal. So if your goal is weight loss, I don't recommend using creatine. Like, you're not going to lose weight, and there's a very good potential you're going to look a little puffier, a little softer. Now, that's no problem at all if you're trying to put on muscle, right? I mean, that's kind of the goal, is that for a lot of men and some women that I work with, you're trying to put on 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds of lean mass. And so if creatine can help you gain 5 to 10 pounds, well, that's just fantastic. But you may look softer for a period of time while taking that creatine before you go into a phase, before you go on vacation or spring or summer, where you're starting to get leaner, where we might taper out that creatine. So keep in mind, there is no one supplement for everyone, and creatine, although works great for some people, is not going to be the best product for weight loss. For weight loss, like I've mentioned before, I recommend using enzymes. I recommend using better nutrition. I recommend using things like a detox-based protocol that are just going to get you there faster. But even with the detox, or something like our Dr. Cabral Detox, I still recommend you get your results on your own through good nutrition, like our fat loss and diet plan, or a good solid diet plan, and exercise. Max that out, and then take take it to that next level with nutritional supplements such as our detox or something like that. So you do what's best for you, but I'm always just trying to guide my clients to the best results possible. And so yes, creatine, great product, but probably not for weight loss. I do hope this episode answered your questions, and always please feel free to submit yours at stevencabral.com/Ask Cabral. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back real soon with another Cabral House Call. As a thank you for tuning in today, I wanted to share with you the #1 system my private clients in Boston and now all over the United States are using to lose weight, decrease bloating, improve digestion, eliminate skin issues, and increase their energy all day long. It's called the Dr. Cabral Detox, and without going into all the details right now, simply go to drcabraldetox.com and you can find out how my proven, simple 7-day system can help you lose weight and feel great. There's no hype, there's no marketing, and best of all, it's guaranteed or your money back. And as a thank you for being a listener of the Cabral Concept, I'd like to offer you $10 off your next 7, 14, or 21-day Dr. Cabral Detox purchase in the month of March. Simply enter the savings code MARCH10, all in lowercase, one word, when checking out. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to hearing your success story soon.